Am PR Agency LLC is a vital resource for artists of all genres, labels and brands globally who need a solution to secure the most amount of impressions on all media platforms, TV, online, print, radio, at the most affordable rate. Am PR Agency not only consults and teaches its clients on how to develop, market and monetize their brand, we also provide one of the most important metrics in marketing: reach and awareness. That data is calculated from accumulated reach generated from Twitter reach, Facebook engagement, and email marketing stats. It is through those platforms that the press and general public become fans of your brand over time and get to know you. Your fame score is determined by the level of your impressions. It is key to monitor that data because it measures the growth of your brand throughout the lifetime of the campaign. The main appeal of Am PR Agency is its reporting component. We invented a reporting system that proves return on investment through PR, which is something that no other music PR has. The average publicist simply compares PR versus advertising. Am PR Agency, on the other hand, compares all of your impressions, all of your press placements, and all the relationships that are being built on your behalf into a reporting model where you can clearly see week after week whether or not you are making progress. Visit our website, www.impragency.com, or give us a call today at 770-635-7214 to get a free consultation on how Am PR Agency is the key to your success.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing? This is VP Dave here for another weekly webinar. This week, this is about Google Analytics Part 2. If you want more information on Part 1, please go to youtube.com/user/IMPR-agency-TV, and you can view all of our videos and everything there. So very quickly today, we're going to talk about using Google Analytics to build a strong homepage/website. So, you know, looking at our behavior flow, as we saw last week, a splash page doesn't really work too well for us, but our home page does seem to work. It does seem to convert traffic very well. So you can see that right here. This is direct traffic to the home page with a 59% drop off, which is very, very low for a bounce rate. And then traffic just continues to flow onward throughout the site when it comes to the home page. But as we saw with the Facebook splash page advertisement that we tested, you could see that the splash page had a 99% drop off, so it wasn't effective at all. So today we're going to talk about, you know, once you understand where your traffic is going, how do you construct your website and your home page to maximize time on site, reduce bounce rate, and also increase conversions, which is sales. You know, part of the reason we think that our homepage works so well is that we have a long and tall banner with high quality images and text that captures the eye. So for example, you know, you see browse our top press placements here. Let's minimize this. So browse our top press placements, explainer video that you guys just saw, services and PR packages, case studies, IMPR creative. So this banner is called the Revolution slider. Very, you know, it's a plugin that you can find on WordPress.com. In the banner, we highlight some key points that after a bit of research and feedback, we've determined that these are the things that people would like to know about us the most. So, you know, we figured that these are the most important things that need to be in the banner simply because, you know, after years and years of operating, these are the questions we get the most. You know, what are your services? Who have you worked? You have any case studies, yada, yada, yada. Same thing with you guys as you guys are operating and as we're doing the PR, we're going to hear more and more feedback from the market. The market will then let you know what it is that they want to see. And then once you give it to them in that banner, you'll increase your conversions. Right above the banner is navigation. And we condensed the navigation because we had like, you know, 10 pieces of navigation here. So we condensed it to a few things. So one thing that we noticed is that one of the top pages on our site is the Our Clients page. So it made perfect sense to also combine that with the case study and the testimonials page, simply because one of the first places people go from the home page is to the clients page, as we can see right here. So for example, one of the top flows goes to impragency.com/clients. And that has a 71% through traffic rate. That means that this page is very high converting. That means that, you know, people who go on this page, 71% of them are likely to flow to another page, whereas 28% of them will drop off. If we want to make sales, you know, the next logical thing that people are going to say is, okay, it's cool that you have these clients, but what have you done for them, and do you have any testimonials? So we made it so that when you hover over this, you see the case study and you see the testimonials. That way, that totally answers that question right there, and that in itself increases conversions. You know, the next one is, you know, the about. A lot of people go to the about. So when you flow for the home page, since the whole page is one of the top sites, people usually go to clients and then go back to home, go to blog and then go back to home. We put the about underneath the home page as well. And just to let you guys know, you know, the nav button and the navigation is very important in time on site, because if there's too many options in the navigations, people will be paralyzed, you know, paralysis by analysis. You know, people will be paralyzed and they'll have too many options and then they'll just bounce off. But just by having 4 simple options here, you know, it kind of allows people to explore a bit more. So this is the clients page, and basically what we did here is we made it so that, you know, you hover over and you have the client's name and you click on it and it shows the client page, and you guys know what the client pages look like. And the case studies page has, you know, just various case studies from, you know, certain clients that we've worked in the past. Now, another thing, the reason why we put products here and the product carousel here and on the side is because usually the next logical pace people will flow after browsing testimonials and case studies is they're going to go to the shop. As you can see here, when people go to clients, one of the next places they go is to the shop or to the About Us or to the press page. And each one of these pages are highly converting. So for example, as we see with the shop, once people flow from clients to the shop, 91% of that traffic continues to flow through the site. So that basically means that the client's page has done its job, and now people are flowing into the shop. A lot more people are flowing into the shop and looking at the products and browsing the products. So that's exactly what we want. So going back to the home page, you know, right underneath the banner, we have what a list of benefits. So we've had these benefits for years. They used to be on the shop page in the past, but we noticed that whenever someone will call in and they will say, hey, well, what are the benefits of this? What are the benefits of that? And we would say, hey, it is on the website. But clearly people, if it's not on the home page, more people won't really see it. So we decided to put it on the homepage, and we think that this is added to our time on site, and we think it's also reduced the bounce rate because it gives people something to read through along with the banner images and the video that kind of give you an overall explanation. Directly under that, we have the clients, products. Since there are no PR packages on sale, we actually need to remove this because a sale just ended. And then right underneath that, we have blog posts. So the name of the game is to keep the user scrolling and to trap the user in segments. So, you know, seeing as how we have the carousel here, all we would need to do is just, you know, browse through, and, you know, you get kind of engulfed in, you know, the act of browsing and scrolling. Same thing with the services. You get engulfed into, you know, browsing and browsing and, you know, scrolling and browsing. And this increases the time on site because, you know, people want to see how many products you have. They kind of want to browse. And the rule of thumb is the more products you have, the more likely someone is to buy one of them. You know, so we try to have a range of items spanning a range of prices. After that, we have the blog. Now, the blog is one of the most highly converting things on our website, as you can see right here from our content drill down. Other posts right here actually means blog posts. And what that means is that 60% of our traffic goes straight to the blog. So what we've done is we've put browse our services in the sidebar right here. And we have our blog on infinity scroll. So basically what that means is if someone is browsing through the site, as you guys just saw, it just continuously populates, you know, blog posts over and over and over again, you know, for infinity until you get to the end. But we publish so many blog posts. We're currently publishing about 20 blog posts a day that you would have to be on the site for over an hour or longer before you get to the end. So long story short, you know, it's very important to publish a lot of content, because the content is what keeps people on the site, and the content is what makes people want to, you know, browse and look into various different products and services. So when you look through your Google Analytics and you see where your content is flowing, like we said before, you want to pay attention to the bounce rates. And the bounce rates are very important because that lets you know how many let me see, that creates a situation where you long story short, where you create lots and lots of engagement on your website by following the data and understanding where people are flowing and where people are dropping off. So if we were to look at the organic traffic flowing through the shop, for example, the shop has about, if people just come straight to the shop, that means that they're buying something, maybe browsing a couple other pages and bouncing off. So we know that for a fact because we have other ways of testing. We have other ways of figuring out where users are coming from and how they're coming in. So another option or another thing that we should talk about as well is the content drill down in the behavior flow. And this lets you know your top pages by page view and percentage of overall page views. So this is a 30-day, this is over the last 30 days. And we could see that the premium package, the big economy and the little economy get, you know, one of the highest percentages, more so than all the other services combined. So now we know that if we wanted to do some sort of sale, half off sale, something like that, all that will end up happening is that we would just drive more sales to the premium package, or if we were to put that in a banner, we could drive more sales there. So you know, setting up Google Analytics on your site is very, very important, because without this data, you can't really clearly see where your traffic's coming from, where the traffic is going, and where the traffic and where on your site are you losing traffic to other websites. And, you know, then you can fix up that data and move on from there. So another thing I wanted to get more in depth about was intelligence events. And intelligence events are basically data alerts that Google Analytics will let you know if there's been a change or a spike in the data. So for example, let's say a celebrity retweeted you, for example, and you have something about sessions, all traffic reaching a certain point. Google Analytics will let you know, okay, at this point in time, you know, an alert was triggered where you overachieved on your data, like it says right here, 190% of daily sessions. You know, so right here we can see that something happened on June 6th right here that triggered 190% change in our average sessions, which means that we can now start to repeat those circumstances that caused that traffic to spike. And, you know, you can also set up your own custom alerts. Like I believe we should have a custom alert here about page views reaching more than 400 unique page views per day. And I believe we hit that a few times. I received a couple emails last week from Google Analytics showing that our page views reached well above 400 unique page views for the day. And by doing that, I was able to log in to our chat function, and I could see that there was a whole bunch of, you know, people on the site, work them down, and then get a sale. So it's very important to understand that the data on your website is key to understanding where people are going, where they are coming from, and where they're going to on your website, so that you can tailor your website to fit better, fit better. So for example, I wanted to also talk more about the website chat as well. I'm bringing the, one second. So for example, right here on the website chat, we can see all visitors right here. Like there's somebody right here who clicked the chat button. For example, and we can see that, someone clicked the chat button and they're interested in, talking, and there's other viewers, there's active visitors. Looks like Joy Villa's on the site from Denmark on a Mac, and she's been idle. There's some American visitors, Filipino visitors. So we can see a lot of things. We can see how many times they visited. And this is a really cool function to combine with Google Analytics, because when you can start seeing when people are on your site at any given time, or it alerts you to an event that's happening in real time, an intelligence event that's happening in real time, I can then quickly hop on the chat and see if that event is going to net us any sales or any potential leads. So the chat is a really good function to have on your website, especially if you're a musician and you're, trying to sell music or any other product. It can really help you talk people into buying more, or just engaging in an overall conversation will always increase your conversions over time, even if they don't buy the first time. The fact that they had a one-to-one experience with your brand will definitely make it so that, they'll come back in the future, and that will increase your returning visitors, which will then increase your sales. So let's see. Other than that, we have, we can go even further into, more direct traffic and talk about, how that traffic flows. Like, for example, we have, I would say, about our normal traffic flows through 12 interactions. I personally think that that's very good if we can keep people on the site for more than 12 interactions out of a general group of, monthly leads. If we constantly see the same pages being visited over and over and over again, one thing that I have done through Google Analytics is to set up some goals and campaigns that if there's a certain number of traffic on the site at any given time on a specific page, it will send me an alert. That way I can, like I said before, go into the chat, confirm that there are people on those pages. So one quick tip, this chat is called Zop'em. We are using it for free. It's a very good app, because what it allows you to do, for example, what it allows you to do is it allows you, for example, we see someone here from DeWitt, Michigan. It allows me to see what browser they're using, what platform they're using, their IP address, their user agent. It shows me everything that I need to know about this particular person. The only thing it doesn't give me is name, email, phone number. But if the person is interested, they will give us that information, through chatting or through talking. Another thing is we can do, we can do shorthand messages. Like, for example, I just type the word help, and then this message automatically populates. That way I don't have to do that for every single visitor. For example, with Joy Villa here, we see Joy Villa, current client. It saves notes. The notes are private to you. Phone number is also private, or the customer can input that information. And the email is not private, but that information can be populated on the site as well. Long story short, it also, Zop'em as well also gives you an hour-by-hour timeline of how many visits versus chats versus, page views. That way you can get a, you can really drill down and kind of understand more and more and more about how traffic is flowing onto your site, where it's coming from in real time, what they're looking at in real time, and how they're you can kind of gauge the customer experience right there in real time. So with all these features, if you monitor your Google Analytics, your chat, everything that I'm talking about, what it eventually becomes is your website becomes almost like a retail store style operation. And what ends up happening in that retail store operation is, you kind of start to see people walk in your store, walk out your store, browse some products. Maybe you could talk some people, upsell some people, but it allows more opportunities for conversions. And you don't even have to, be sitting at a desk to do it. The Zappa map has a mobile function. Google Analytics has a mobile function. You can have alerts sent directly to you, to your mobile via text message or email. So, it's very easy to be on top of your data. It's very easy to, be on top of your retail store without having to sit in front of a computer. Now, what's most important about understanding the data is that if you're only posting 1 or 2 posts here or there, or you're not really publishing a lot of content, you're not going to have data flow like this. This is data flow from us being active on a daily basis, posting about 20 to 30 posts per day. And me personally, if I had my way, I would post hundreds of posts per day, simply because, like I said multiple times before, when you combine post with SEO with social media, every post drives traffic from either the social media or from Google search or many other places back to your website, which is your platform. And through this website, we can retain and save those numbers and then use that data and number to, possibly go to other companies and charge advertising rates, for example. Or we can, start selling IMPR shirts on the website if we notice that people like the premium package and we notice that that's one of our highly trafficked products. I can make a premium package t-shirt, for example, and sell that. Or, if we notice that there's a particular client, for example, we might notify that client and maybe see if there are any other opportunities to monetize. And, long story short is, when it comes to promoting and it comes to delivering this content, what we usually do is we create the content over the weekend. So if we do IMPR approved post, or, when we call you guys the clients and we try to get content from you guys, is basically so that when we do more posts, more awareness equals more press placements equals more sales for you and for us. So, the point of the story, and, I can't stress it enough, more content. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be that you're available for interview. It could be that you're in the studio working on records. It could be that you have a demo of a record. It could be that you even have a snippet of a record, or, that you're working on artwork. It doesn't really matter what it is. When me and Olivia started this company, we would make sure that we would put out a daily newsletter every day. It didn't matter what it was. We just wrote about whatever we were doing. So even if it wasn't so-called, real news per se, we would still do it, and people would still and then when we would go out to an event, people would say, oh, David, I heard you performed at this open mic. That's cool. Or Olivia, I heard that you signed another client. Or Olivia, I heard that you like, what was something people say? Oh, I heard that you bought some new glasses, because we would write press releases about how we would change our look, or how we created a website, or, it didn't matter what it was. Whatever we did, we wrote about. So same concept for you guys. Whatever you guys are doing, send it to us. Let us write about it, and then let us promote it, put it out there, create lots of engagement, create lots of page views, lots of hits, bring and route lots of traffic, and that's going to get you a lot of success. So let me stop sharing the screen, for example, for 1 second. If there are any questions, you guys can let us know right now. And I'm sorry, it's very dark outside. It's thunderstorming pretty heavy right now. But I appreciate everyone's time for tuning into the webinar. If anyone has any questions or concerns, you can raise your hand and let us know if you have any questions. So there's 5 minutes left. I'm going to leave that time open for any questions or concerns that anyone might have.
PII Agency LLC is a vital resource for artists of all genres, labels and brands globally who need a solution to secure the most amount of impressions on all media platforms, TV, online, print, radio, at the most affordable rate. PII Agency not only consults and teaches its clients on how to develop, market and monetize their brand, we also provide one of the most important metrics in marketing: reach and awareness. That data is calculated from accumulated reach generated from Twitter reach, Facebook engagement, and email marketing stats. It is through those platforms that the press and general public become fans of your brand over time and get to know you. Your fame score is determined by the level of your impressions. It is key to monitor that data because it measures the growth of your brand throughout the lifetime of the campaign. The main appeal of PII Agency is its reporting component. We invented a reporting system that proves return on investment through PR, which is something that no other music PR has. The average publicist simply compares PR versus advertising. PII Agency, on the other hand, compares all of your impressions, all of your press placements, and all the relationships that are being built on your behalf into a reporting model where you can clearly see week after week whether or not you are making progress. Visit our website, www.impiragency.com, or give us a call today at 770-635-7214 to get a free consultation on how PII Agency is the key to your success.
All right, guys, so that's it for the weekly webinar this week. Make sure you tune in next week, because next week we will be talking about search engine optimization and a very easy way to show up on Google in first place for your specific niche and genre, and how to make your posts look really, really nice in Google when people Google you. So stay tuned and see you next week. Thank you.